Did you know that the last official civil servant exam in Japan was so hard that only 2.7% of people passed? Well, today we're going to be looking at 10 mind-blowing facts about Japan that you never knew you needed. Let's get started. Number 10. Shonen vs. Shoujo. Now, if you've been watching anime for a while, you might have noticed that there are tons of series targeted towards young boys and young girls. And this is because of the terms shonen and shoujo. Shonen refers to manga or anime made for boys, whereas shoujo targets a female audience. But it gets more interesting than that, because did you know that the term shonen used to refer to both male and female manga until World War II? After the war, shonen was changed to only refer to boys as a way to emphasize the differences between young men and women who are now working together in the workforce. Number 9. Japanese whiskey. Did you know that Japan makes some of the best whiskey in the world? It's true. In fact, Japanese whiskey has won world's best bourbon several times over. And the reason that Japanese whiskey is so good is due to its strict production standards and aging processes. These standards are so high, in fact, that only 2 million bottles of Japanese whiskey are released each year. So if you ever get the chance, be sure to try some out for yourself. Just do me a favor and don't waste it, please. Number 8. Sushi for breakfast. In Japan, people eat sushi for breakfast. That's right, they don't go for cereal or toast. They roll up their sleeves and get ready to dig in. Now, you might think that this would cause a lot of leftovers by the time dinner rolls around, but this isn't really the case, because most Japanese families don't eat sushi for dinner. Instead, they prefer to eat more traditional Japanese foods like curry. Also, even though sushi is super popular, only about 4% of Japanese people actually eat it on any given day. With all of that being said, I think it's safe to say that sushi is definitely a part of Japanese culture. And if you want to learn more about Japanese culture, then what better place to start than at home with your very own Yukio plush? Number 7. Too many convenience stores. Now, when most people visit Japan, one thing that stands out to them immediately is the sheer number of convenience stores. In fact, there are about 26,000 7-Elevens in Japan, which means that for every 1,000 people, there are 8. Now, you might think that America is the king of convenience stores with our Wawas and Quick-Checks, but that's not even close. For every 1,000 people in the US, there's only one convenience store. So, yeah, Japan wins. And honestly, I'm not surprised, because when I visited Japan, they had a freaking 7-Eleven on the train tracks. Number 6. Crying is good for you. In Japan, crying is considered healthy and encouraged. They even have a word for crying, which is nazukashi, which literally translates to the sudden desire to cry. When someone experiences nazukashi, they'll often let it happen. This can result in an increase in productivity after crying, especially for women. In fact, studies show that women who cried 4 times a month were less likely to suffer from depression and anxiety. So maybe we could all benefit from letting a few tears out every once in a while. Number 5. The ghost train. On July 25, 2004, a train crashed into the side of a mountain in Japan. The crash killed 26 people and injured 54 others. Even though the train was supposed to be fully repaired by December of that year, it wasn't finished on time. As a result, the company president took his own life. In April of 2005, it was discovered that the same train had derailed again. This time, no one was hurt. At first, it was believed that the brakes had failed, but later, evidence showed that someone had loosened the bolts responsible for holding the train's wheels onto the tracks. The company was fined, and 2 former employees were charged. However, the question remains, who really sabotaged the train? Number 4. Ghibli Museum. If you've watched My Neighbor Totoro or Howl's Moving Castle, then chances are you love Studio Ghibli films. But did you know that there's actually a museum dedicated to Studio Ghibli in Mitaka, Japan? The museum looks like something straight out of a Ghibli film, and inside you'll find tons of exhibits related to the studio's history. Tickets aren't cheap, coming in at about 1,000 yen for adults and 700 yen for children. But if you're a fan of Ghibli, it's definitely worth the money. Tickets also need to be purchased 1 month in advance, and you can only stay in the park for 3 hours once you arrive. But hey, at least you can't miss it. The museum is located 2 minutes away from the subway station. Number 3. Supersized everything. People in Japan are absolutely obsessed with supersized things. Whether it's a ridiculously large steak or a burger the size of your head, Japanese people love going out to eat oversized portions of food. And even though this might seem kind of dumb at first, there's actually a really good reason behind it. You see, in Japanese culture, bigger means more, which means that if you order a big meal, you're getting more value for your money. This also applies to things like clothes and furniture. It is common for Japanese people to buy oversized clothing items, like shirts that cover their entire body, so that they never have to worry about showing any skin. This also applies to furniture. In fact, most furniture in Japan is made to be much larger than in the West. This is because Japanese people believe that it is important to have enough space to accommodate all of your family members. Number 2. The power of manga. Manga's become such a huge part of Japanese culture that they've actually created an entire industry around it. In fact, manga accounts for about $25 billion of Japan's economy each year. Now, you might think that's a lot, but when you consider the fact that the entire anime industry is worth about $230 billion, you realize that manga only accounts for a small portion of Japan's overall revenue. Despite this, manga is still hugely important to Japan's cultural identity. The country is home to some of the most famous manga artists of all time, like Hayao Miyazaki and Osamu Tezuka, and manga is widely enjoyed by people of all ages. There is no doubt the manga will continue to be a major part of Japanese culture for years to come. And finally, number 1. Crying in public. Crying in public is totally okay in Japan. In fact, it's encouraged. Japanese people believe that crying helps to relieve stress and tension, and it's often seen as a sign of strength rather than weakness. This is especially true for men. In Japanese culture, men are expected to be stoic and unemotional, but crying is seen as a way to release built-up tension. It's not uncommon for Japanese men to cry while watching sad movies or anime. Well, that's it for today's video. We hope you enjoyed learning about these 10 mind-blowing facts about Japan that you didn't know. Be sure to like and comment if you want to see more videos like this. And don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of our future uploads. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. Oh, and if you're interested, here's another video about Japan that you might enjoy.